All right, guys, we are back today with the ZJ, and I just wanted to walk through these new headlights I just got for this thing. So we have these LED headlights. I've gotten to test them out, run them on a few trails now, and they are from Auxedo. I'll have them linked down below, and they are a sponsor of the channel, but I'm going to be doing a completely unbiased review of them. They've given me permission to do that, but it wasn't needed because I do love these lights. So as you see, I do not have a cover on this side broken off. I do have the diffuser over on this side, and all this is a lot more firm. So the first trip I took these things out, this headlight was caught in the hood, and so it was a, it ended up being a spotlight that shone probably like at that house over there. Like, it was bad, and I had people complaining. They're like, all right, just run the run the light bar, don't go out blind, but stop using the headlights because they are so bright. They preferred me using my light bar over these because of how bright they were, and I can attest. I have this 40-inch Nightlight light bar, which I absolutely love. That thing will light up the trails, and these are brighter. Absolutely no question. And so on this side, the way this ended up being set up, this is basically a floodlight. Then I have a spotlight that kind of shines straight down the trail now. I've readjusted it and kind of got it zip tied in place, so it's got a good pattern on it now where it's actually helping me out with sight. But the flood that I have, the floodlight, has been absolutely incredible. I'll show you a few clips of kind of a comparison between the light bar and these, and like, they are just a beautiful white color. All right, here's a really good comparison for these headlights. Here's headlights off. That's his, and that's mine. Look how much brighter mine are compared to his. And his are actually like an LED pod. It's like a actual LED housing headlight, versus mine is just the bulb in the factory housing. The spotlight that I have right there, that is my right headlight because I don't have a diffuser over the front of the light housing. It's just completely open. I need to find wherever the factory just little like clear diffuser is. I also need to de-yellow these. They've been, it's a 1997 Jeep, so it's 25 years old at this point, and so the factory housing is very yellowed, but it is crazy how much these are putting out. I'm beyond impressed with how these look, because beforehand it was either light bar or don't see, and obviously they don't like you shining a light bar in the rearview mirror, and so it's incredible having lights that actually allow me to see the trail in front of me. And this is basically just one light that's shining everything in front of me because of that diffuser not being on, so the other is shining way up into the sky. But this one bulb is producing 3 times the light as both of my stock housings, and it's even doing better than the actual LED housing that a lot of these other guys are running. So that's incredible. A lot of these companies will just throw a cheap bulb in, and it'll end up being super blue, or it'll still have that like halogen yellow to it. But I think that Auxedo did a great job choosing the color on these. I'll grab the box and see what it is, but I believe it's 5500K, and it's just a beautiful white color that it produces. It matches the light bar very well as far as coloring, and then getting to add this little bit of a spotlight has been awesome for like trail recoveries and stuff, because if somebody is up on a hill, I can kind of point it up, shine it up wherever, and it absolutely lights up the trail. And so I wouldn't recommend just slamming into a tree, which you can see is exactly what happened over here. But it did work out for the better because I love having the flood and spotlight combo with this. But if you're going to do this and you're going to have both just floodlights, I promise you, you can be absolutely barreling down trails and still have plenty of light. These things light up the trails like crazy. Now, with them being so bright, one thing I would at least recommend is getting an aftermarket headlight housing. I'm looking at doing that even in my application where I'm strictly off-road. The diffuser on the factory housing does still spread the beam out well, but it's not able to control it as well. I've obviously noticed a big difference between the factory high and low beam versus this. It kind of feels like you're in high beam all the time just because of how absolutely bright they are. And the factory housing is not designed for these LEDs. And so I would recommend going on even just Amazon and getting some sort of projector lens that's going to have a lot sharper cutoff for these bulbs. If you're going to be driving on the road, that technically is a legal thing that you need to do. I had done it with the truck at one point, and basically all it is it takes, you still have the look of the whole thing being reflective, but instead of having that hole there in the middle, there will be a circle that controls the light a lot more and allows you to have a lot more straight cutoff so that you're not blinding other drivers. And everyone's appreciative of it, and legally you are supposed to do that anytime you go to any LED bulb. Now, another thing I like about these is how big the fan on them are. You don't hear it obviously over the motor, but it does have a really big fan on the back, which with these LED bulbs, they are known for getting very hot. Not specifically this brand, but just LEDs in general get very hot. And so the fan on the back of these is huge, allowing it to keep it cool, which will prevent, first it prevents the headlight bulb from burning itself out, and it also will prevent the shroud around it from melting, because it can get that hot if you don't have a fan. All LEDs will have some sort of fan on them, but I am very proud of how well these do, because just an absolute ton of night trails. And so having something that will continually keep this thing cool when I'm running it for, I mean, we're running those lights from 7 in the afternoon, maybe even earlier than that, until 4 in the morning for some of these trips, just because we like the night ride. That's when the trails are the least crowded and we can hit whatever we want. But I've never had an issue with anything getting too hot. I've never blown a bulb. I have, I believe, 3 or 4 trips on these now, and so I don't have just a ton of hours, but I mean, if we're using that estimate, I have probably around at least 30 hours on these bulbs, because from 7 to, let's say 2, that'd be, I don't know, 7 hours of use per night. And then we're going on 3-4 day trips. And so they definitely have gotten their use in and have not had any issues so far. I will update you with this as it goes, but man, so far I'm absolutely loving how bright these things are. And so adding these to the rig and having them as a sponsor of this build has been absolutely incredible company to work with. But I absolutely would recommend these to anybody who's just looking for aftermarket LEDs for whether it's a Jeep build or they sell all sorts of different stuff for different cars. I was going to get a set for the Tundra, but my projector lenses, which, like I said, I need to have to go on the road, they're messed up. And so I'm going to hold off for now, but I would love to hook this Tundra up in the near future. to match those. I do have LED fog lights, but I would love to have the matching set for the Tundra. But standing by the company and loving it so far. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you love it if you check them out. The link will be down below in the description. Very fairly priced and a great company to work with. So if you want to follow more on the build series, we're about to be doing a bunch of stuff to this thing. We are about to replace basically the whole steering system, and then we have the 14 bolt and then the front Dana 60 that are about to go in. We have this tube ready to start building my front 4-link. Still got to build the rear. We're going to do a dual triangulated rear 4-link, and right now the thought is a single parallel. It'll be a parallel 4-link in the front, more than likely. I might try to see if I can get away with a single triangulated front, but I don't think I can get tall enough to do the dual triangulated with this build. But yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. But if you enjoy these kind of projects, just know I'd love for you to check out the channel, and I'd love for you to get a ride in with us. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed or if this helped you out, but check that down out in the comment section below.